G'day, I'm Mike Hayes and welcome to Jazz Guitar Chord-melody, Part 50. In today's session, we'll be doing some more work on the dominant 7th flat 5 chord, and we'll be studying a chord progression that can be found in many jazz tunes. In fact, the tune we're working on today was made famous by Duke Ellington. I can't tell you what it is right now, but it's something about trains. We'll also be going back and reviewing some concepts that we studied in earlier sessions about the altered dominant 7th chord and the dominant 9th chord. I hope you've had a big breakfast because it's going to be another day of slaving over a hot jazz guitar. But just a quick reminder to subscribe if you haven't already, and don't forget to click the notifications bell so you'll be notified just as soon as our latest video is available. Okay, it's time to get cracking. The jazz standard Take the A Train was the signature tune of the Duke Ellington Orchestra and was written in 1939 by Billy Strayhorn. On the screen at the moment, you'll see the basic set of chords for the first 8 bars of Take the A Train. This progression is found in many songs that are popular amongst jazz players. A short list of songs that feature this progression in their A section would be Watch What Happens, Girl from Ipanema, Exactly Like You, Darktown Strutter's Ball, The Jersey Bounce, and many others. And now here's the same progression, only this time we have some chords that are in brackets. And the chords that are bracketed represent the original chords from the original progression, and underneath those bracketed chords are the chords that I'm thinking of as I'm playing this progression. Okay, let's have a listen. Right then, when you're ready, let's have a look at the same progression with a few variations. We're also going to revisit a concept that we spoke about in an earlier session. Okay, the first change we've made is in bar 6, where we're playing a D flat 7 flat 5. And this is a simple tritone substitution for G7. The flattened fifth of G is D flat, and that's where our D flat 7 flat 5 chord comes from. The next changes we've made are in the turnaround bars, bars 7 and 8. And this is where we're going to apply a concept that we touched on earlier in the series, where we're playing the minor sixth on the flat 2 of the dominant. So if we have a look at the A7 chord, the flattened second would be B flat, and therefore we can play a B flat minor sixth. And when we do that, it creates an A7th altered chord. And in effect, what happens when we play a B flat minor sixth over an A bass, the chord that's produced is an A7th sharp 5 flat 9. And if we go through the notes from the first string in this chord shape, we'll notice that that's what's actually happening. On the first string of our B flat minor sixth chord, we have a B flat, which is the flat 9 of A7. On the second string, we have F, which is the sharp 5 of the A7. And then, of course, we have C sharp or D flat on the third string, which of course is the third of A7. And then finally, on string 4, we have G, which is the flat 7 of A7. Now moving on to bar 8, and the original chord was D7. And here we're going to apply the principle of playing a minor sixth on the 5th of the dominant. The 5th of D is A, so therefore we can play an A minor sixth here. And when we do that, the sound that's produced is a D dominant 9th chord. Onto the G7, and this is the same idea that we did with the A7. We're going to play a minor sixth chord on the flat 2 of the dominant. So here we'll play an A flat minor sixth. And how we arrived at that is that the flat 2 of G7 is A flat. And once more, we'll find that if we play an A flat minor sixth chord over a G bass, the sound that is produced is a G7 sharp 5 flat 9 chord. And if we check out the notes under our fingers in the A flat minor sixth chord, we'll find we have on the first string A flat, which is the flat 9th of G7. On string 2, we have a D sharp or E flat, which is the sharp 5 of G7. Onto string 3, we have the note B, which is the 3rd of G7. And onto string 4, we have the note F, which is the flat 7 of G7. Let's have a listen to how our modified progression sounds. let's do one more variation on this progression where we'll apply and review some of the concepts that we've already touched in previous lessons. This first one's pretty easy because we've been doing that for the last couple of sessions, and that is the concept of being able to play a sixth on the fifth of a major chord. So in the first two bars where I have C major in the original progression, I'm going to alternate between a C sixth chord and a G sixth. And I'm able to do that because the fifth of C is G, therefore I can play a G sixth over a C bass note. And the other concept I'm going to try in this progression is that in bars 3 and 4, I'm going to move the D7 flat 5 shape up and down the fretboard and alternate between two different shapes that are 6 frets apart. And I'm trying to sort of stylize this progression in a similar way that the introduction sounds in the Duke Ellington arrangement of Take the A Train, where they create that train type sound. Okay, let's have a listen to how this sounds. Well, there you go, folks. That's all for this session. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I hope you've got something out of it. No matter where you are in the world, I wish you all the best with your guitar playing, and don't forget, if you have any questions or comments, to pop them in the comments section below. And until next time, have fun with your guitar. Bye for now.